What's up, guys? Welcome to Whales Tales. My name is Greg, and before I get too far into this video, I just want to relive this awesome moment. Oh yeah. Alright, so welcome to an extra special episode of Whales Tales. And the reason why I say that is because I totally was not expecting to make this video, but then I just happened to get this great gameplay. And I thought, yeah, I want to post this on YouTube. So here we go. And I knew this was going to be a memorable game right from the start as a result of this gem of a gunfight, which I ended up losing. And I kind of thought, okay, here we go. This is going to be terrible. But it could not have turned out more opposite from that. I think this actually was my first 40 bomb in TDM in Black Ops 3. I really don't post numbers like that too often. It's possible that I have done that once or twice before and I just didn't really pay any extra special attention to it, but I really can't remember it. So this easily could be the first time. I think I went 40 and 16 in this one, and I definitely, you know, felt very happy with that because I was using the Banshee, and I had no expectation of being able to do something like that with this gun. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about in this video, I need something to talk about. So I think what I talk about in this video is kind of my thoughts on supply drop weapons in Black Ops 3, kind of what I thought was okay about it, and what I thought needed, or could use a little bit of work. And as we head into Infinite Warfare, we're all kind of wondering what the supply drop weapons are gonna, what that system is gonna be like in that game. And actually, to be honest, in my opinion, hopefully it's, if they have to do it, then hopefully they keep it somewhat similar to the way Black Ops 3 kind of pulled it off. Because I think actually they did a pretty fair job with it. If they're gonna do it, might as well do it somewhat like this. So that's kind of mainly what I want to talk about in this game, but before I get into that, let me just talk a little bit about the Banshee, because it is what I'm using in this gameplay. And so anyway, yeah, I pulled it out of a supply drop over the summer, and I started using it, I think, pretty quickly, just to, kind of experiment with it, because it is such a different thing. And right away, I started doing absolutely shitty with it, and I was like, wow, this is a piece of shit. And so it was only a few games before I was like, no way, I'm putting this thing away and never using it again. And the only reason why I started using it again is because I pretty much leveled up every single other gun in the game, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll do the Banshee. Was not super thrilled about it, but what else am I gonna do? So that's why I pulled it back out. And I did struggle with it at first. I struggled with it right out of the gate again. But then I started to kind of get the hang of it after a little while, and I'd say I've actually probably gotten even better with it since this game, although I haven't done anything like this since then. But I got a mothership with it yesterday on Nuketown, and that was a total accident. I accidentally had the mothership on my class, forgot to take it off, and then I ended up burning it. So yeah, I don't know, surprisingly effective, especially against less sweatier players. Once you start to get into the really sweaty lobbies, those players are a little bit harder to predict the movement, and then this becomes much less effective. So, and honestly, I think that's how it's balanced. It's balanced out by the advanced movement system. Otherwise, it would be kind of overpowered. But anyway, I definitely think if you kind of had the same experience as I did with it being absolutely shitty at first, and you just kind of gave up on it. If that pertains to you, if you have this weapon and you really haven't tried it out much, definitely give it another chance, because it can be actually pretty effective. And on top of that, it's just tons of fun. Honestly, I've probably been having more fun in the last few days while I've been using the Banshee than just about almost anything else in Black Ops 3. This has been very amusing. It's so satisfying to drop someone at long range with this thing. I mean, you just have to try it, So hopefully you have it, and if not, hopefully you have some other fun supply drop weapons that you can use to give you an extra little, bit of fun right at the end of this game. But I've definitely been glad to have this thing, breathe a little fresh life into this game for me. All right, so that's kind of my 2 cents on the Banshee. Definitely don't think it's overpowered though, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. Or I guess no, I probably won't. That's my opinion. I won't. I don't think it's overpowered. I do think that it can be pretty fun to use and pretty effective too once you get the hang of it. So anyway, okay. So I did say that I was going to talk about my thoughts on supply drop weapons in Black Ops 3 and what I thought they did okay and what they could have improved. So I mostly thought the supply drop weapon system in Black Ops 3 was pretty fair. Now, I just kind of accept that Activision is a business. They make money off of Call of Duty. That's their product, and that's sort of the world we live in. It's, you know, it's run by, well, I mean, it's driven by money, you know. Whether you like that or not, and believe me, I'm not a huge fan of it, but that's just, it is what it is, kind of, right now, and so you kind of have to just sort of realize that, and really, you know, it has far more drastic effects on the world than fucking supply drops in Call of Duty games. I mean, Jesus, the amount that people complain about it is crazy. It's like, man, complain about something that actually, I don't know, anyway, I don't want to get into a whole fucking political thing, but yeah, I don't think it's really that bad. The game is still fun, and I think they do manage to keep it fun, even if you don't want to buy supply drops, which I commend them for doing. That's great. You know, take a game like fucking FIFA, which I have a friend or two that you know really enjoys FIFA, and they don't pay any extra money to get better players in that game, but that game is super pay to win. I mean, you can totally pay to win in that game. Whereas I think if you bought COD points in Black Ops 3, all you got, you were more just like paying for fun. You were paying for the fun of kind of gambling the supply drops and seeing what you're going to get. And then, you know, of course, you're increasing your chances of getting a fun weapon like the Banshee, which isn't necessarily any better than any other gun. It's just fun and different, you know, and that's cool. I think that's kind of how DLC maps usually are. Like if you buy the map packs, you get some sort of more unique maps like Micro. That looks like a really fun map to play. And I don't have the DLC in this game, so I didn't get to play that map, and that was my decision. I didn't spend that money, and so I didn't get to play that map. And for a lot of people, they didn't buy any COD points, so they didn't get to use certain guns. Like I did not get the FFAR, which I really wanted to try out, because you know, there was a big deal about, oh shit, the FAMAS is back, you know, and I want to try it, and I didn't get to. So, anyway, moving on from that point, yeah, so they're not going to be your best option. Like in a super sweaty lobby, you're probably still going to go with the VMP or the CUDA or the Can-44 or the Dingo or something that you really know and love and trust. You're probably not going to go with the Banshee in those type of games that you really want to do well in, and you got a sweaty lobby that you're dealing with. So yeah, so it's not really pay to win if you think about it. It's more just like pay for a unique experience, which makes it a lot easier pill to swallow, I think. Also, you get a good bunch of them for free, so you do get to kind of enjoy at least some of that without having to pay anything extra. So, for example, I got the MX Garand, the HD-40, the RSA Interdiction, the Banshee, the R70 Ajax, the Marshall 16, the NX Shadowclaw, and most of the melee weapons. I did not get the FFAR, the Peacekeeper, the DBSR Sniper, the L4 Siege, the Rifty 9, and that House Builder nail gun, do-it-yourselfer, or whatever it's called. I did not get that one. That one looked pretty fun, but I didn't get it. So, you know, I got some of them, and I didn't get some of the others. And that's fine. You know, I didn't want to buy COD points, and so that seems totally fair to me. Honestly, your KD probably went up a little bit from supply drop weapons being in the game, because people probably did not do quite as well with them as they did with their favorite gun. So I don't know. That's one way you can look at it too, which I think is gives you a kind of a fresh perspective. So ultimately, that's kind of why I think the supply drop system was fine in this game. It didn't really bother me. And I hope that they do something like that in Infinite Warfare. Now, there are a couple things that I do think they could have done a little bit better. First of all, the Marshall 16 was the one gun that I thought was maybe a little too strong to be in a supply drop. Now, it wasn't any better than, it wasn't even as good as, you know, some of the, you know, like the VMP, but it was a secondary, and it made sniping way easier, and that's why I think they should have given that to everybody, because if you had that as a secondary on your sniping classes, you could stay alive much longer, and that would have made like dark matter much easier. Like I had it when I went for dark matter for the RSA interdiction. That made that so much easier than when I was going for all the rest of them. And also, I think they added too many melee weapons into the game. It just like flooded the game with melee weapons, and you were just getting meleeed all the time, and it felt less like a Call of Duty game and more just like fucking Mortal Kombat or something. Which that sort of like, I don't know, I was a little like, I don't know if I love that. But other than that, totally okay with the supply drops. So if they have to do them in Infinite Warfare, I hope they do it somewhat similar to this. But anyway, that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. We'll do one more Black Ops 3 video, kind of a wrap up, and then we'll move on to Infinite Warfare. All right, peace.